That's got honey in it. Hello, and welcome back to my humble digital abode, Moonshake Music. And today we're going to be talking about something that's very much the opposite of digital, i.e. prints and death. Since 2016 has been a bit of a downer year for legends passing, most recently Prince. We're going to be looking into the unfortunate waters of posthumous material and whether Prince's vaults, and indeed any artist who's died, unreleased work, should be drilled into. Good. So yes, unfortunately, the bit of a morbid topic today, I know, but obviously Prince has passed away in the last few weeks, and I thought it'd be interesting just to look at, as all these stars have passed away, what happens with this posthumous material and the way they sort of go about it, because immediately, not even a week after the death of Prince, they were talking about these vaults that have already been drilled into. And with Prince, the thing is, it's an actual literal vault. It's not like a metaphor for anything. He's actually got a vault material in Paisley Park where he's got apparently there's 2,000 songs down there in that vault. And it does exist. There's been a sort of mysticism about this, vault for a long time. There's a great BBC documentary, which I'll link in the bottom here, about that subject, and it's crazy. So it was set up by Susan Rogers, who was his sound engineer back in the 1980s. But now, as Prince didn't really give any sort of foresight to his death, as he was only 57, obviously he wasn't expecting it as much as the rest of the world was. But it's been given to the Bremer Trust, who are based in Minneapolis, and they have had temporary control over his financial side of things. But because Prince didn't tie up those ends and dedicate it to the one person, it's gone into the hands of businessmen and not by any means people who love his music. And this sort of mentality Prince had reflects in court at the moment, as his sisters and siblings are trying to work out who's going to get the bulk of his money, essentially. And he seems to have that forward thought all the time, where he didn't really have, because he was producing so much, he just didn't have a chance to think about his death or even consider those sort of things. He's such a hard-working guy, but this poses a question whether these vaults should be drilled into in the first place. First of all, let's look at the reason why these songs probably weren't released. The reasons probably are they were either not good enough to make a cut of a record, or they didn't fit into the mood of a record. And whenever he was asked about these collection of songs, he wasn't that bothered about it. It was like he was just told to do that, and that's what he just obeyed. As soon as Michael Jackson passed away, he was signed to do 7 more posthumous albums on Epic Records. Before 2017, we got Escape, but everybody has a songwriting style built in, and a lot of people like Jackson, collaborated with Quincy Jones as producer, but Prince was very much a man of his own right. He did his own production, he wrote his own songs, he played his own instruments, nearly all instruments on all of his music. So there's nobody apart from him that can really tie up these loose ends, which is why it's quite a strange situation. And you can reflect this with Bowie, who was the opposite, really. When you look back at Bowie and Prince, they do have many crossovers. In particular, their awareness and attitude towards business and their business acumen. Having been both ripped off at different parts of their lives, David Bowie was ripped off in the first years of his career, and Prince was ripped off by Warner Brothers. And both fought for that sort of ownership of their music, which Prince managed to achieve, but he didn't have the sort of foresight to tie it all up. Bowie, of course, was aware of his impending mortality, which is why we got a greatest hits collection back in 2014, which nicely tied up his career, and we also got Black Star, which was probably built to be listened to after his death, with so many references to it throughout. And I think every artist would desire that control, the ability to put a full stop on their work. The other reason why I think Prince's vaults maybe shouldn't be drilled into is because he famously detested bootlegging of any kind. Some artists are open to it now. They're saying, file sharing, they know it's a thing. But he was known to, go into shops. If he saw unofficial bootlegs of his material, he'd go and smash them up. Also involved in so many lawsuits against YouTube and eBay for copyright material, even taking down like home videos which, just had a little glimmer of Prince in the background. He just wanted off, he didn't want anything on YouTube or eBay, which is why it's probably so hard when people have heard about his death, who have become new to Prince, going onto these sites, and obviously you can't get a hold of it. Prince's life and work ethic makes any of his material in his absence sort of an unofficial release anyway, because he was so involved in every aspect of his record making. So I don't know what is going to happen with these vaults. I don't know, we don't even know what Prince wanted to do with these vaults. I don't think he had the time to even think about it. So it'd be interesting to see how Prince's music sounds in his absence, even if he's not looking over the final masters of the mix. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please give it a like and subscribe if you like the video. Please get involved in the conversation as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Should you listen to Prince material posthumously? Should you listen to any posthumous material? Cat. Thanks so much for being here at Moonshake Music. Good chew.